you can imagine too, at a theological level, because especially in the Abrahamic traditions, God is construed as a paternal spirit in some fundamental sense. I know it's complex when you get to the highest level of abstraction, and what that would also mean was that if you had an impaired relationship with your father or with the patriarchal spirit in general, that's going to put a resentful twist in your relationship to the paternal spirit as such. And I certainly see that as, well, it's something that bedevils our current society as well, because there's so much objection to the patriarchal system and the catastrophic atrocities of history and the fundamental unreliability of the paternal or patriarchal spirit, that all of that is tied together. And it is tied together with the problem of sin. A lot of women who object strenuously to the patriarchy, let's say, are also simultaneously women who have been rendered bereft of any positive relationship with any man, even once in their whole life.
Yes, I have found that too in my limited experience. And I think the only adequate answer to that is not merely psychoanalysis and understanding, but Alyosha's kiss. To experience genuine love, to meet a Mother Teresa, that will convert you much faster than all the arguments in the world.
Right, well, that's really the theme in some profound sense, both of the Brothers Karamazov and of The Idiot, because the great characters, the heroes of both of those novels, Alyosha in the one and Mishkin in the other, is that despite their relative lack of facility with delineated abstract arguments, even in favor of the existence of God, their character is such that their very being stands as the best proof of their beliefs. And that seems to me to be a way forward too in this interfaith dialogue. I talked to a relatively fundamentalist Islamic leader, a young leader, Muhammad Hijab in the UK, and we were talking about the use of compulsion in faith. And I was trying to sort out how the different doctrines might compete and cooperate with one another going forward, especially in the face of this secular onslaught, which I think is the worst threat that any of the Abrahamic religions currently confronts, is that it should be something like a competition of invitation. It should be something like, let the best man win. And that would mean that an adherent of a given faith, let's say Orthodox Christianity or Orthodox Judaism or Islam, is that the people who abide by those faiths should be such stellar examples of a light shining on the hill that people are convinced of the validity of the belief by the exemplar of the practitioners. And that's the right place to have a, what do you call that? What's the Islamic word for holy war? Jihad. That's the proper jihad. Yes, exactly. A competition of invitations. And I think that ties into the Old Testament biblical notion of radical hospitality. So one index of that would be, well, how well do you treat strangers, for example? Or how well do you treat women? That might be a good example as well.